Behold, my glorious supporter, True Mr.FOoT, has requested an episode of Mr. Foot's rejected Parley lightning round. Allow me to explain, for it requires explanation. Mr. Foot asks, if my calculations are correct, then it's going to be your birthday, June 1st. Yes, it is. Thank you very much. And to celebrate this momentous occasion, we'll have to do something that's never been done in the format of Parley before. And that's right, I said we, because this time Zandy himself will have commissioned the June question. My dear Zandy, you might say something like, I do not recall asking a question, and in that you're wrong. I quote what you wrote on May 8th. It would be interesting to do a Parley where I have to pick one of the unusable rejected Parleys from someone to answer, or something like that. No pressure, just seems like it'd be funny. I did say that. And in typical Parley fashion, you'll get what you wanted, but not necessarily in the way you wanted it. That's a good way to summarize Parley. We're going to play a round of what I call Foot's Rejected Parley Lightning Round, or FRPLR for short. The rules are simple. Below, you will see 3 rejected Parley ideas, some of which have been created at 3 a.m., so the overall quality of these entries is questionable at best. I don't expect you to spend more than, let's say, 90 seconds on answering each of these, and in the end, you'll probably see why they were rejected in the first place. Let me tell you, I looked over them very quickly. You requested a limited time for me to check what they were, and I honored that. It literally has been maybe 2 minutes total since I started preparing for this Parley, I swear to you. Yeah, they're pretty bad. Let's go through them. The first one is, show us how American you are, inspired by this YouTube video where a dude yells at another dude, show them how American you are, and he just repeatedly punches himself in the face to destroy his brain cells. Let me tell you something. I've got a better way to destroy my brains. If that's really what we're doing here, this ain't water. Let's just take a little, you know. I'm just kidding, it was water. Entry number 2. Try to explain some aspect of Buildcraft using only a stock image of a graph. Let me tell you, even if that had been vodka, I think it would have stung my eyes just plenty. Thank you very much. Ooh. But I'm very hydrated now, so we can go to pixabay.com, and I'll give myself maybe a minute to think of how I would explain some aspect of Buildcraft using only a stock image of a graph. Just thinking, hold on. Calculating here. Just gotta process some Okay, let me just talk about this one a little bit because I can't immediately think of anything. So the request is to try to explain some aspect of Buildcraft using only a stock image of a graph. So I have to show you one image. It's like a reaction image thing. And that will encapsulate some aspect of Buildcraft. But it doesn't have to be a good... This is a bad question, which is fine. That's the point. Yeah, I mean, one of the things about this one is it theoretically requires a good amount of work. It's one of those things where it's like, if you just spend time thinking about it, you'll think of something clever, and anyone can think of something clever for that, you know? I think, to be honest with you, I am not a very clever person. I don't have these well-knit ideas, and I don't really value those kinds of ideas, because to me, they're ideas that are about, again, you kind of just put time in. Like, anyone can do it if you just spend enough time. I ideally want to have people like what I'm doing. For me, doing something that you could really only get from me, or you wouldn't get from many other people at the very least. None of us are unique, but you can still be more unique. And it's just what I like. I just feel, why should I do this instead of someone else, is what I often think. And then there are some things where I think, well, no one's going to do this, so I guess I should do this. Try to explain some aspect of Buildcraft using only a stock image of a graph. Here's the best thing I can come up with, okay? And this is kind of cheating, of course, because this actually is an image that I actually use to explain an aspect of Buildcraft. So I'm not sure it's entirely fair that I use this, but it's my Parley. Well, it's your Parley, and you dug this script for yourself, so that means I'm allowed to use this. That's how that works, for sure. So we'll swap over to here. Yep. And boop. There you are. Yeah. this is a thing that I did. I get to use this. I don't have to explain. You know what this is. Incidentally, since we're here, I think it's worth saying that you'll notice this is sort of a vaguely fake alignment chart. It doesn't really work. We just sort of hoped, it's a thumbnail. People don't look at it for too long, right? There's some bits of weirdness, like it wouldn't have made sense to write a ton of words. So ice cream sandwich became an ice witch, cracker witch became a cracker sandwich became a cracker witch. And there are some of these that we didn't really do in witchcraft. Some of them it's arguable that we did, but for the most part, some of these aren't, like the taco is really the glaring example to me. The portobello sandwich was arguably a taco, but even then, I discussed in that segment of witchcraft that I don't really think. I feel like taco it's a nebulous thing. Just because the sandwich is connected at one end, the bread is connected at one end, doesn't immediately make it the essence of what being a taco is. It just vaguely resembles a taco. And yes, that's very funny, but if we're actually discussing seriously for 8 hours, for 24 hours total in witchcraft, which is what witchcraft is, like what a taco is, I don't think that a sub sandwich is a taco just because the bread is connected. Anyway, watch the 8 hour/24 hours of sandwich buildcraft, witchcraft stuff on my Zandy Pants channel if you really want to see that. I'm sure I don't have to invite you. I'm sure most of you already know what that is. So there you go. I think that's my high point. Quit at the peak for Zandy explaining buildcraft concepts using okay. And entry number 3, explain the appeal of gotchi for the uninitiated. I don't know what that is, or I didn't know. I still don't know what it is, but you said I'm allowed to do an absolute maximum of 60 seconds of research on YouTube only, which I did. I swear to you, I only did 60 seconds, and you'll know that because I still have no idea what this thing is. Let me attempt to explain what I saw. I'd seen this before as a meme thing, but I didn't. It's like a sort of burly, sort of squishy, in a maybe good way for some people, dude that is shirtless, and in some of them had like BDSM gear on, but pretty like softcore BDSM gear. We're talking like a spike collar or maybe a light body harness thing. Nothing that would trip YouTube censors anyway, apparently, for what that's worth, which is nothing. Like either dancing or doing some kind of shimmy, or it was usually a meme format, so it would be parodied in some way. I found a 4-hour video that was just parodies, like many different parodies of like dudes that vaguely look like this with other music, and then there's sound, there's audio, there's an audio component. I guess it's like if you like dudes that look like that, then you want that. I have no idea. I've rarely actually consumed a piece of media that I had so little idea like what the point of it was. I have no at all any idea. Absolutely no clue. I could not even begin to understand. Vaguely it makes me think like this is maybe a way that meme culture represents like gay stuff sometimes, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. And to be fair, I'm also one of the worst people to ask, which is why this is funny, but also why it's a bad parlay question. Because these things go over my head. Like, I do not live under a rock. My job is on the internet, but I just don't find most memes funny. I just don't. It's just not interesting to me. And so it's not uncommon that you'll get something like this where I consume it and think, what? It almost feels like a mistake. I feel like I've gone like, surely this isn't it, right? But I guarantee it is. I saw a Super Gotchi Saiyan. I don't know. It's probably like somehow a celebrity or some bodybuilding figure or something that people heavily photoshopped. I don't know. I couldn't even begin to. There you go. Gonna be completely honest with you, as I always am. It was actually sort of fun. I'm not sure I'd be able to do this too often, but I did not hate this. It was okay. I'm gonna have to go take a mad piss now, though. Refill this guy.